Okay, welcome. This is part of a series of tutorial videos on how to use Edmodo, and today we're going to look at actually setting up a student profile, so actually giving a bit of information about how a student actually works. In some of the earlier videos I talked about how to set up a teacher profile, and if teachers are watching this, I think this could be really handy in terms of allowing you to see how a student works the program, and of course this is going to allow you to better help your students to achieve in terms of setting up and joining your digital classroom. So I'm back here to the first screen. This is the first screen that comes up whenever you go to the website. You can just Google Edmodo, you'll get straight here, and of course in this case, being a student, I'm going to click I'm a student, and you'll notice that the first thing that it's giving me up here is a group code. Now if you've watched some of the earlier videos, you'll know that you need to create a specific class for each of your students to join, and each class has its own unique code. Now on that profile I created a science class, but I also had an English and a mathematics class, so this student this profile that I'm making today is going to go into that particular point. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've created a Word document, and if I just go to that one, it actually tells me I've pre-saved what these codes are. So the first thing I'm going to do is join my science class. Now I just copy pasted this straight out of my teacher profile. Sometimes it's written on the board or on a piece of paper or on a printout. It doesn't matter as long as you've got the code. And I'm just going to click copy on that one. Okay, so I'm going to copy that text. I'm going to go back here, and the first thing I'm going to do is put that in, because if I don't have the code, nothing's going to work. Okay, now I'm going to create my own profile here. So this isn't an actual real this isn't a real profile, this is just one I'm creating, and obviously, if you want to have a bit of a play with it, you could give this a shot, but I'm going to create a profile called Cardijn Student 2014, and I'm just going to put in my own password for that, just so that I can remember. Now students don't need to put their email in, and that's good because often they can get a little bit fiddly in that particular area, so I'm just going to leave that for now, but they're welcome to do it. It helps them with alerts. I'm going to call my fake student Cardijn Student, very imaginative, I know, and I just need to say you and your parent agree to the terms of service in this case and click sign up. Now the first thing that's going to happen when I come in is I'm going to be in my science class, and if you've watched again some of those earlier videos, you'll know that the first thing that I put on when I created that was welcome student. So as soon as that student comes on, they've got the wall in front of them. They can see welcome students, are you having a good day? The teachers reply themselves, but I might say, oh, okay, yeah, well, yes, this is fun, or something like that. Obviously you want your students to say that type of thing, but they can comment on anything that they want. There's a science test today, oh no, and you'll actually notice on one of the previous videos I created an alert, so when they come up, their notifications, there's this big red scary looking thing here that says, oh, okay, there's an assignment due, so there's something going on there. So a lot of the ways that they actually understand, and the way that they're informed about things that are happening is through their notifications. So it also alerts them about things like special messages and things. But the other thing that you'll notice is that in my last tutorial video for teachers, I created this very assignment, and this shows you what it looks like from a student's perspective. It says here, read the attached worksheet and write a 100-word summary. It tells me when it's due, and there's the worksheet that I need. So I could click on that and I could download it. Once I was finished, let's say that I did my answers, or my 100-word summary I wrote on a Word document, I would click on turn in. Okay, and I'm actually going to turn something in here. So I'm going to say this is my assignment. Okay, it's usually good to encourage that they do something, that they actually write something. A lot of the time you just get a blank box, and they've got these little emoticons here that they can select, so they might say it was interesting. And if it's in a Word document or a PDF or anything like that, they can then just upload that file. Okay, so essentially in this case, I'm just going to go back, and I did this same thing before. I'm going to go to my desktop, I'm just going to upload that same file, but they might have a completely different one. That's more than fine. And you can see it says turn in assignment. Okay, so the language is slightly different, okay, but this is what it looks like when the assignment's turned in, and then the teacher will often put a grade on this, so it says awaiting grade, and the teacher can also type comments. Often they might put something here and say, oh, I forgot this, and then attach another file or something, but other than that, it's not a problem. If I take them back to their home section, Okay, and I go back to their science class so they can have a look in here. It now says turned in. Okay, so that means that they can resubmit if they want, but that's always a good way to show. I often have students saying, oh, but I turned it in. I say, well, what does it say on the assignment? And if it says turn in instead of turned in, that's how you know. And of course we mentioned you could put things down here like, you know, I have completed the work early in this case. Not that you would ever have a student actually send that to you, but we like to dream. So essentially this is what it looks like for the student. Now if I go back to their main home screen, and remember that allows them to see everything, you might remember that I only put in the code for science, but as a teacher I actually created two other classes which were English and mathematics, and I can join those just as easily. Even though I'm already in here, I don't need to go back to that start screen. I click on this where groups are, I click on this plus sign and it allows me to put in another group code. So in this case I'm going to get my English code, which might again be written on the board, paste that in there, join, it'll say group joined successfully, and now you can see that English has come up, and then I'm going to do that again, come back, click on mathematics, I'm just copying these using the commands and I paste that in there, and there it is. Okay, I've got mathematics, English and science in my list. Okay, and there might be different assignments for each of them. I can actually click on the side here and I can give them different colours. This is all the student's preference, but essentially this is how Edmodo looks to them. And you can create as many classes as you want and they just keep joining them. Some of these classes could be created by different teachers, and that's a really great thing to do as well, but it just allows them to manage everything, and they can see, of course, in the central wall everything from every class, so that's a really great thing. So this gives you a bit of an idea about what the student profile looks like, and there's a couple of other features we'll talk about in future videos, but hopefully this will help you as a teacher or even as a student set up these profiles and really enhance your learning.